Good morning, Pioneers. My name is Alex Ramft.
And I'm Justice Cullivan. Welcome to The Grit.
Thanks, Cameron. It's been an exciting week for the Pioneers, wrapping up the spring season and heading into tournament. Let's kick things off with girls lacrosse. They had an awesome win against Dublin Scioto 17-10, thanks to a stellar defensive game from senior Mia Harrington and goals, plus senior Avery Reed scored multiple goals to lead the offense.
And they followed it up with more success this past weekend. Junior Liv Roop scored 4 goals in their win against Delaware Hayes on Friday, and then they kept rolling with a 15-10 win against Pickerington Central on Saturday. They're heading into the postseason play with a lot of momentum. Softball had a big weekend too. They beat Bishop Ready 14-0 with Emily Rodenberg and Sally Peters both having multiple hits. They then went 3-0 against the Olentangy for a Cause event, defeating Berlin 13-8 and edging out Olentangy 9-8.
Gory Nike was on fire against Berlin, going 4 for 5, and Jordan Pellis scored 4 runs. Then, against Olentangy, Pellis went 2 for 4 with a double, and Gabriella Tiberi had a clutch 3-run double. They're back tonight at Tejas Valley looking to keep that momentum going.
Switching to baseball, they had a huge win over Liberty 2-0 with Maverick Shulvin's big double and James Wimsett coming through in the clutch in the 7th inning to secure the win. They followed that with a 1-0 victory over Hilliard Davidson and a big 5-3 win over number 1 Vandalia Butler, sitting at number 2 in the state. They're heading into the postseason play strong. There were also some standout performances with Nick Rubin, Jaquez Lavelle, and others qualifying in various events. The girls' 4x800 team finished 4th too. Big things ahead as the competition continues tomorrow against Liberty for track.
Now let's throw it over to Abby with boys pole vaulter Will Jackson.
Thanks, guys. Hi, Will. Thank you for joining us today. So to start, what got you interested in pole vaulting?
I think when I was a freshman, I kind of saw everybody over there pole vaulting, and it just looked fun to me, so I went over and gave it a try and stuck with it.
What is the hardest part of pole vaulting for you?
I think with pole vaulting, like, it's sometimes super inconsistent about how you do, and like it's a hard event, so you kind of have to try to stay positive with it. So I think just trying to remember to stay positive even when you have a bad jumping day and kind of have an off meet.
I think that's great. How do you choose the right pole for your vaults?
So pole vault poles are like a certain length, as well as like it's called a flex number, like the weight. So you'd have to find the right length for how you're jumping, as well as like a weight that'll bend the right amount for you so that it kind of springs you up in the air versus kind of bending and throwing you flat or breaking if it's too small.
Gotcha. And what has been your most memorable meet so far?
Probably the Delaware County meet last week. It was a good meet. I finally got onto some big poles that I've been trying to get on all season. PR'd and jumped 14-1 and ended up winning the meet.
Nice. Do you have any pre-meet rituals or lucky gear that you use or do before track meets?
Yeah, so before each vault that I do, I always like cover my hands in as much chalk as I can, and then I do like a breathing thing where I like put my arms up and down and just try to like calm myself before I take the jump.
Yep. Awesome. Similar to that, do you have a favorite like pump up song before you go?
I don't have any like specific song that I listen to get pumped up, but I like a lot of just like upbeat type music, so just like something kind of feel good, even if it's like country music, something like that. I don't like to get too pumped up, because if I get too pumped up, I'll kind of get like stiff with my run, which I try to keep smooth.
Gotcha. And do you hope to compete in college and or beyond?
I'd like to. It all kind of depends on what I jump basically next indoor season, if I'm able to continue.
Cool. Thank you so much for joining us, Will.
Thank you for
now
having
back
me.
to the desk.
On the boys' tennis front, the team wrapped up their OCC schedule, dropping a tough 3-2 match against Upper Arlington. But there were still some bright spots, like Patel winning the second singles and duo of Tang and Gala winning the second doubles.
It's been a tough season for boys volleyball as they lost to Gahanna Lincoln 3-0 in the first round of the playoffs, which means their season has come to an end.
It's been an intense week for all teams, and they've had an incredible performances. Can't wait to see how they do the rest of their postseasons. And without further ado, let's go into our pick'ems. All right, we got two big events still going on. We got the NHL playoffs, and we got the PGA Championships happening right now as we speak. Let's go on to the NHL playoffs. All right, so what's your first reaction to this?
It's been going actually a lot how I would like it to. The Caps lost in 5. Not a big Caps fan, obviously, as a Jackets fan. Can't really be a fan of the Caps. I don't think the Hurricanes are going to make it past. I think Florida's going to beat Toronto. I don't think the Hurricanes are going to make it past there. But I'm still very glad that they were able to take down the Capitals.
Yeah, and I agree. I'm rooting for Florida right now with Bobrovsky. Kind of the closest thing we got to a jacket in the playoffs. So, I'm glad the Caps lost, but I'm a little bit sad because, you had Ovechkin's amazing season, and then it just kind of teetered off at the end. They got that one win, and really besides that, they were completely shut down in the offensive front. They only scored 8 goals the entire series. For a very high goal-scoring team, it was rough. I mean, Logan Thompson had them in every single game. It just wasn't enough. They could not score on the power play, only got about 15 shots per game on that. It was pretty rough to watch. So I'm a little bit sad that OV didn't kind of get that great end of the season that even as a Jackets fan, you kind of root for. I like Carolina a lot, and they're looking pretty strong going in here. I just don't think they got it for the Panthers.
Yeah, and going over to the West, we have Winnipeg and Dallas. Dallas, I really thought was just going to start blowing Winnipeg out. Winnipeg wasn't looking good. Connor Hellebuck was playing terrible, but he's kind of started playing a lot better. He's had shutouts in both of their last home games. Obviously, a 4-0 win last night, I believe. He's been playing a lot better than he did at the start of the playoffs, and it's helped Winnipeg a lot. Yeah,
they're going to need that again. Probably they play tomorrow. It's going to be hard. I don't really see Winnipeg beating Dallas in Dallas. I think it's going to be really hard to do. I think Mika Rantanen is going to go off again. I just have that feeling. He's been playing amazing all playoffs. If Hellebuck can continue to play like this, I think the Jets could win the Stanley Cup. It's just he has been the weak link on this team. He only gets about 24 shots on net, and he lets in 3 or 4 a game. You can't have that numbers. He's got to keep it down. And if they want a chance to make a playoff run and beat Edmonton in the next round, who already beat Vegas, he is definitely going to need to have his best goalkeeping series because they will score 8 goals on him if he keeps playing like he is.
Yeah, and I do believe Winnipeg is going to end up beating Dallas. I think Dallas wins at home, but then going back into Winnipeg, it's such a great environment in Winnipeg. Obviously, Hellebuck started to play a little better. Even if he plays not great for his standards, I think Winnipeg's still going to be able to get it done.
Yeah, I think we have a decent chance for a 3-1 comeback here for Winnipeg, for sure. Yeah. And they got a lot of momentum. They got a great fan base. I could definitely see it. So that's about it for the NHL. So now let's switch over to the PGA Championships. So who are you rooting for?
Right now, probably Bryson DeChambeau. I haven't really started getting into golf until the past couple weeks. Obviously, with the Masters, I started. I like Bryson a lot. Honestly, the leader right now, I hadn't really heard of him. Jonathan Vegas, I believe.
Yep, Jonathan Vegas.
Just coming out, amazing first round, -7, still the leader right now. He's been playing amazing.
Yeah, he's going to tee off here at 1 o'clock. A great first round. It was out of nowhere, especially after we had Rory go 3 over. You had Scotty was a 2 under, which is pretty solid. But for Scotty's standards, obviously, would like a little bit better. He's still in that race, though. We saw Tommy Fleetwood have a great start, kind of fell off at the end. So you had some of the better golfers. Xander Schauffele really struggled too for parts. It's a Quail Hollow is a driving course, and you can definitely see that a lot of guys are coming up short of the green for their birdie chances, and we have a bunch of pars and. So it's been a fun tournament. It's extremely hot also there. Yeah. You can definitely see that. The physical exertion that these guys are doing when it's 90-degree weather, sun's out. They're baking out there. Yeah. So I think that actually that has some parts to play in the kind of struggles we've seen.
Yeah, I think you kind of got into that great group of McIlroy, Schauffele, and Scheffler. They were all really struggling yesterday. I believe on the 16th, they all double bogeyed off of missed chips, missed putts. It wasn't even like they drove it into the water. It just didn't look like they were playing that great. But obviously, Scheffler was able to rebound. Xander and Rory McIlroy not really able to. Still plus on the day, but
yeah,
still a lot of golf ahead of them.
Yeah, for sure. And I cannot wait to continue to watch that. It's peak.
That's all for today, Pioneers. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Alex Ramft.
And I'm Justice Colvin. Stay juicy, Pioneers. We'll see you next year, right here on the grid.